Well, two rousing anthems then to build us up for Argentina against Japan. Japan, a reminder, getting the better of Italy on the first day. Argentina getting the better of Spain in what is an international classic, Patrick.
Indeed, and both with a couple of goal cushions as well. Japan 3, Italy 1 on day one, and Argentina 4, Spain 2. And a reminder, much of these scorelines is down to the fact that in the last couple of minutes those goals are worth double. And if we go into the last 2 minutes with the scorelines level, then what we have is a golden goal. First to score wins. I'm not sure if you've necessarily had that come to pass yet in the first 2 days, Thomas. If so, want to keep an eye on today.
Oh, absolutely. We had it in Uzbekistan against Saudi Arabia. It was some late drama. On Twitch, Patrick, they're saying that Japan are the slight favourites. So that's interesting. Maybe the fact they've already beaten an international giant on the first day, they can do it again as the Spotify secret card is being picked.
Okay, so
this can be one of several secret weapons which can be used in the second half, only in the second half until the 38th minute. And we'll talk about those as they develop over the course of the match. They're the Japan starting lineup, the squad ready for this big match. Nakamura, for me, Patrick, that my eyes immediately go towards him. As for Argentina, any stand-up players? There's no Aguero today, a reminder.
No, there's not, but I'm sure he will have been able to impart some of his advice to the rest of the team. And we know that Argentina, they have such a talent pool, whatever it is, be it futsal, be it 7-a-side, be it 11-a-side. Kings World Cup nations, they've already won once. They're very keen to secure their passage into the quarterfinals. Have a couple of days off as well.
That's also a big factor. The rest as well in these kind of competitions. You want to arrive fresh. You don't want to be leaving it and then playing an extra game and then going into that quarterfinal having played 3 games. You want to go there having done it the easy way, straight through it. But then again, it's a double-edged sword. You can also look at the other way. You go into having played another game, perhaps a bit fresh, and keep an eye on him. He scored, we mentioned Fukaya for Japan's wins against Italy. Similarly, the Argentinian keeper, if I'm not mistaken, Sanchez. So it should be Luis Sanchez, I beg your pardon. That was my fault. I was pointing to the wrong name. Again, I do apologise. At times I get my Spanish mixed up, Japanese mixed up. I'm not the linguist in this duo. That is Mr. Patrick Kendrick. But he scored against Spain from distance, one of the goals of the tournament. And I'm sure we're going to have plenty more contenders today as we just await the lights here.
And we are a very new sport as well. We also like to accommodate people that are getting in touch with Kings League for the first time. And as such, a reminder, there's the Argentina squad. But lest we forget, we will start with 1v1 for the first 60 seconds of this contest, with goalkeepers, of course. Otherwise, it would be a case of simply just pinging the ball into an empty net. And then with every minute that elapses until the 5-minute mark, a further player will be introduced. Keisuke Fukaya there, wearing 1.
There he is, yep.
He is the very agile goalkeeper you spoke about earlier on.
Yep.
And Shunsuke Nakamura, wearing 74, a name that will be familiar to football fans all over the world.
Yeah, now, big fan of his, and we'll have a chance to talk about him. I'm sure he'll be rising to the occasion as the countdown continues before the lights come up. A reminder also, you mentioned some of the rules in the first minute. The keepers cannot come out of their area, and also you don't want to make any fouls in the first minute because otherwise it's a shootout. So, here we go with the lights, Patrick.
And we are off and underway. And we've got Itsuki of Japan, who's first to the loose ball, but then nearly lost it. Needed his goalkeeper to get there, Thomas, because otherwise Rafael João might have picked his pocket.
Absolutely, you've got to be careful in this first minute. As I mentioned, you don't want to give away a foul, you don't want to give away an early goal either. And it's interesting what kind of tactic the teams approach. We've seen some just try and just keep the ball away and just run down the clock so they have teammates come on so they can then play alongside someone. Otherwise, you try and go for that one-on-one right away.
Well, the rationale is interesting as well, isn't it? Just trying to get an insight into what the coaches might be thinking as Argentina come forward here in search of the opening goal. Spaced in to finish. Wonderful work, though, from Itsuki off the line. It is interesting. Do you go for that technical, dynamic player who can get round the keeper as he did there? Or do you go for a defensive specialist like Itsuki showed for Japan? Oh, what a block.
Wonderful block, Patrick. Great teamwork. Great teamwork. They keep obviously taking them around the long way around, trying to keep that angle almost impossible. As Argentina try again, this could be it, Patrick.
Oh, and he just lost the moment to shoot it, allowed Itsuki to come back, and all of a sudden Japan have the overload. The goalkeeper's come out. And had that been on target, I'm not sure he was necessarily getting there, Luis Sanchez, but it just shows how quickly this game can change. Rafael Joao, I thought he had space there to shoot, decided to take an extra touch, and the chance went begging.
He did go begging indeed. Now, as you can see, the keepers can come out after that first minute, and Luis Sanchez is there, trying to provide the numerical advantage and create the overlap, perhaps, and free on this side, Romero.
Well, you've got to stretch the pitch, and you need to take a gamble, as the goalkeeper did there. Rafael Joao will try and keep it alive here. That's a clever ball, and now the goalkeeper's got a free shot if they can find him. He takes a touch and strikes it. Good goalkeeping, though, in response from Keisuke Fukaya.
It's the two keepers taking centre stage there. And that's, again, the beautiful thing about the Kings League. You have the keepers involved, everybody's... It really is total football. And these tend to be, these first 5 minutes, perhaps one of the many exciting moments there. It's all exciting, of course, over the course of the 40 minutes, the 2 20-minute halves. But this particular moment when there's lots of space as well to be exploited, when the keepers can come out and join in as well, as we see. Let's see where Fukaya will adopt a similar approach to his colleague, and it looks like he will.
And indeed, we've got Franco Romero, and we've got the two Romeros. Facu is as well. They're part of the squad wearing 17, but it's 16. It is Franco Romero who's on part of that Argentina side, but space down the near side. That was an easy save for the goalkeeper. Japan trying to claim a corner, but now Argentina will have the next passage of play. And another look at that shot there, or he aborted, because you show replays at your peril in Kings League.
It's breathless stuff, Patrick.
It's
breathless, Patrick. It is breathless. It is a non-stop. You just have to keep your eyes glued all the time to the screen if you're following from home, or to the pitch if you're here with us at the Vismada, Centro Vismada, as Argentina take a shot from distance. It might fall kindly for the keeper.
That caught him right in the back of the head. I tell you what, he has not flinched at all. It could have easily gone down there and, you know, might have required some treatment. But credit to these warriors, Yamada, Itsuki, there, just standing firm in the face of that absolutely huge, powerful shot, and the ball did just stray out of play, hence why Japan have got it back.
I certainly feel that one right now, but especially tomorrow morning. Might need a nice pack later, but for now, only focused on trying to get the better of Argentina. Japan in the all-blue and in possession against the, is it the Albiceleste Selección? I think it's one of their several nicknames for Argentina. Now more and more players coming on to the pitch. It's 5v5, still a bit of a space, but we're now getting more and more to what one could say traditional football, and that's 7v7 when we go beyond the 5th minute mark.
And that's when we enter into the sort of cagey phase of the game, isn't it? That's when it becomes a bit more tactical and technical, because early on here, it's almost like a hybrid sport. It's a bit like when you go to an American playground and you see the basketball hoops and you've got people doing a 1v1, and it's something similar here in Kings League in those early minutes, but now it starts to resemble a bit more futsal, albeit it is on a 7-a-side pitch. You've got those bigger goals, so you can see spectacular strikes. And personally, Thomas, I'd like to see one of these teams really try their luck from distance.
Maybe now inside the box they might get a chance here, Argentina, and now an opportunity on the break, Japan, but they're just running into trouble there. Argentina, would you say, just slightly the better team so far? I know it's very early to say.
They've certainly had more of the territory, but the goalkeeper was equal to that early effort, but they've spurned possession here in their own defensive third. Opportunity knocks. The angle was against him. He'll still try again here. If he can stand it up, and the goalkeeper flicks it behind. He could have easily pushed that into his own net. Yeah, that would have been a disastrous start for Japan. They still have to soak up the pressure here. They're very much still on the back foot as the corner comes in. And nodded away. Can Japan now get Nakamura on the ball? Thomas, as you know, I'm new to Kings League. I want you to talk to me about all of the various phases of the game. How does it work? Who's playing which card? When does a certain factor come into play? Try and put yourself in the shoes of the two presidents here. So we've got Junichi Kato on the one side, and we've got Kun Agüero, who's the Argentina president, with the guest president as well, Marquito Navaja. What are they thinking? What are they trying to achieve here? Well, the first thing, we've just seen one of the first phases of the Kings, which was those first 5 minutes with each player coming on with each passing minute. We are now 7v7. At the minute, the presence, all they could do is they could call a presidential penalty, but we tend to see them more in the second half, Patrick. Second half is also when we can see those secret cards used by the coaches and the presidents. Reminding the final 2 minutes of the first half, we also have the role, as we see, Junichi, mentioned him earlier,
Japanese are watching on, and he could be taking a penalty at some stage in this match. Final 2 minutes, the roll of the dice, and depending on what number comes out, that's the number of players that play the final 2 minutes. So it could be 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, but we'll see that shortly.
So that's a throwback to the early minutes of the game, and we see that repeated in the last 2 matches. Top scorers so far, Swad of Turkey with 4 goals, albeit I think that that fourth one rather, counted double. So where's your cut-off point? Is it 4 goals or is it 5?
It's technically 4 goals, but the final score obviously was Turkey 5-0 against Ukraine.
Call it a ghost goal, shall we? Don't mention that.
Be careful when we
Jose
are in
Mourinho,
Milan
are
as
you
well.
watching?
And we know Milan goal is controversial as Japan find themselves on the back foot here.
And who's there doing the sliding challenge again? Every single time.
Him,
Itsuki Yamada. Loves it, absolutely loves to go to ground.
Putting his body on the line there.
Well, as well, because you can graze your knee, but another look at that particular challenge, which might have been a bit controversial, but there you have it. And coming back to those secret cards, you've not yet become a president of Kings League. I know it is a burning
it's an ambition of mine, absolutely.
Going forward.
Wouldn't want to be
in
for
your
England.
Personal life, your professional life, etc. I think you need to get hold of a bit more money first to be able to invest in the
that
team,
case, I'll just be a player then, or a fan.
If you were to be a president, what would be your preferred secret card? If you could choose one and you had the deck uncovered, what would you select? What's your favourite?
I would always, as a thinking tactically, I would always go for a penalty. And I don't mean a shootout because you have a shootout or a penalty. I mean a traditional penalty, 12 yards, because you've got that opportunity one-on-one with the keeper, where of course the striker always starts with the advantage. But I'm a big fan of the shootout because it's so exciting when the player starts from the centre circle as Japan try and come forward here.
And then after all that, he just got it wrong there, Enkin. It was a shame because the initial passage of play was wonderful to drop the shoulder and get away down the line. So yes, the important distinction there in terms of the terminology. A penalty is your traditional penalty, and then the shootout, as you said, when they dribble up from inside that centre circle, so that's where they have 5 seconds to score.
Exactly, and
you're basically trying to do a Ronaldo phenomenal, the old school Ronaldo, not to be considered by his potential physique. Lovely ball in, what a goal that is from Augusto Fernandez, wandering in, timing his run to perfection. And the flag, I think, has gone up. It won't count. Was he offside?
Well, Patrick caught everybody by surprise, caught the Japanese defence by surprise as he caught out everybody here inside the ground as well. It's a close call. Was he marginally offside? I think he might have been, Patrick.
Very good decision there from the officials immediately as the assistant raising the alarm, the referee giving the indirect free kick. And we also cut away to our Argentina president there, and he was immediately questioning the call. VAR, the goal stands. Well, after all that, it was an officiating mistake. They will feel it's justice, Argentina. And the only slightly disappointing thing there for the player himself is the fact that it was a celebration in installments for Augusto Fernandez, but either way, the joy is not diminished. Great ball, even better header.
All that matters for Augusto and all that matters for Argentina is that they lead on the balance of play. You feel it is deserved, but like I said, just ghosting in just caught us all by surprise, and above all, and more importantly, they caught out the Japan defence there and the keeper.
And it's so nice as well for these players. I know that VAR is much maligned, that people say it slows down the game. That was a very quick VAR intervention, incidentally. But it's also nice for these players who've not necessarily graced the professional game, that they have an opportunity, Thomas, to feel part of the professional ranks by having this technology available. And it also shows just how deceptive things can be. When a ball is played over the top, you've got one player, the forward, going one way, the defender trying to step up to play him offside, and yet because of that, there's an optical illusion. He looked offside, he was very much level.
Oh, that's, again, the beauty again of the Kings League, wanting to have that sportsmanship, wanting to make it as fair as possible, to make sure there is no real controversy. We can look back at the footage, take our time as we saw there, and you get to the right decision, and that's important. And then there's no complaints from either side because it's there, the evidence is clear as Japan try their very best, but so far it really hasn't been their afternoon.
No, it hasn't, and I don't know if you've ever been to Argentina or Japan. Have you sampled their cuisine? Let me tell you something.
Sadly not.
All of you watching from elsewhere, Japanese food, sushi in particular, is basically the Milanese staple diet. And I say staple for people of a, shall we say, of a certain budget.
Yeah.
There are those that when they go out to eat, they now shun pizzerias. They don't go for a pizza, they go for a cheeky sushi, Thomas. And I, for one, I'm a fan, but as an Englishman, I prefer Italian food. But you will get Milanese that will actually prefer, and they want their gunkan, and they want all of that, you know, their gyoza.
Gyoza, that's another one, yeah.
So, you know, interesting.
It is, in fact, actually, Patrick, you talk about, in the build-up to Italy-Japan, we actually asked a selection of Italians whether they preferred pizza or sushi, and do you know what won it?
I'm going to say sushi based on
You're
what I
correct,
just
you
said.
are correct.
Otherwise, you
correct.
would completely contradict me, and that's the first rule of broadcasting. Be on the same page. Be on the same team. But we also know that Argentine cuisine is very big in Milan as well, in particular in the professional ranks, at Inter in particular, where they have an Argentine vice president, Javier Pupi, and they also have Joaquin Correa, who is the adepti, the aficionado of the asado.
Asado, that's it, yeah. Often you'll see him grilling away at Piano Gentile, the club's training ground.
A bit like I was grilling you on the rules of Kings League in the lead up to this particular day 3, because I do feel, I have to say, a little bit like the Johnny-come-lately, last in, maybe first out, a bit like some of those teams that we'll see later on with their last chance saloon. But you and Simon just do such a great job in day 1 and 2, allow me to say that. I know you're a modest man. And I thought I've got a lot to live up to.
was super,
well,
in every sense of the word.
Step up in his big shoes. Opportunity knocks potentially here with Argentina using every last inch of the playing surface.
Yeah, passing around really nicely, and you can tell that goal has given them that extra boost. They're already very much, as we said, on the ascendancy, starting brightly. You feel for Japan, is this perhaps one step too far for them, having surprised Italy, now trying to get over Argentina? Is it too much for them so far? Yes, but of course, in the Kings League, you just expect the unexpected. Anything can happen.
Come on, you've watched enough Kings League to know that trying to suggest Argentina are going to go on and win this game after just 13 minutes,
that's a good point.
Courtesy of a 1-goal lead, when in the last 2 minutes goals count double. I mean, that's a little bit naive. I don't expect it of you. What a ball through. That is round the keeper. The angle was against him.
It's still there, Patrick, still alive.
He can hit that first time. He scuffed it into the ground, and you can tell by his reaction. He knows what a big chance that was. Martin Mantovani.
Yeah, who's got lots of experience having playing in the Kings League in Spain, Patrick. And so, yeah, one of those key players for them. You expect him to do a bit, but at least hit the target, because he came onto it on the burst, unmarked, you know, a lot of space, a lot of time. Expect a little bit better from him, and it really should have been a second goal.
Then again, first rule of Kings League is, not there are no rules, there are plenty of rules. Expect the unexpected.
Absolutely, expect the unexpected. So, which is the reason why me talking about Argentina going on now and winning it is absurd.
Well, we'll see. You might well be right. Tell us on Twitch whether you think Tolo has gone loco, or indeed whether some of what he's saying has a bit of sound logic behind it. But again, Argentina just squeezing Japan here defensively, trying to twist the knife and turn the screw. I thought that was Papu Gomez then. It's P. Gomez, not to be confused with the former Monza player, Atalanta as well.
Oh, and the Papu dance. If we get a goal from Argentina, I will be doing the Papu dance, or a goal from Japan.
Well, maybe we need to get one of these cameras to spin around and see you in your white tee and your tight blue jeans.
Yeah, no, I am very much dressed like a fat dad right now. So
what a hit!
Comes in.
What a goal that is! Goal, 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 goal! Facu Mahalas Sanchez!
Golazo! I think that's how they say it in Spanish. That is a beauty. We're speaking about contenders for goal of the tournament. That is certainly up there. Top bins.
Top bins indeed. Now that is going to take some beating when it comes to the highlight reel, because that is one of the purest strikes you will see at any level, in any venue, in any arena, and it is Facu Navas Sanchez with a peach into the top corner, and all of a sudden Japan are in danger of being blown away here. The Albiceleste are showing that they've come to Milan and they mean business. They want to go from Milan to Turin.
Patrick was saying about Argentina, how they look really impressive so far in this first half.
And we've still got a live reaction across the way from us with the Argentine stand-in president, and he was still holding his head in his hands as to, what have I just seen? I can't believe it.
Can we have another here? Here he is as he tries to combine on that far side. Argentina, if they get a third here, it really would put them into such a strong position as we go into those final 2 minutes of the first half. 18-minute mark, the roll of the dice. dice, the Red Bull dice coming into it, and that could shake things up. That could maybe go in Japan's favor if it's a 3-on-3 or 1-on-1 situation. We'll wait and see what the dice has in store.
We might need to have a word with our production staff just to see if there's any link between Marquito Nahava, who is the guest president, and Facu Nahava Sanchez, who's just scored the goal. So very similar there. I don't know what Nahava means. If anyone could suggest that via the chat on Twitch,
please.
Absolutely. A chance here for number 3, can square it. Instead, he went for goal himself, and it was the wrong decision. Should really have played in his teammate, Thomas.
Yeah, no, there's space on this near side, and as we see here from the Reaper, but as we say, hindsight is a wonderful thing. It was dragged just wide in the end, but Argentina still remain very much in complete control here.
And I'd also just like to say, so nice to be here, doing something a little bit different. You and I, we do a lot of commentary, albeit it's very traditional stuff. How nice to really let rip and give it a goal, 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 goal. I mean, I shouldn't do it now because we're in live play, but I've always dreamt of doing it. I've never been allowed to do it. Now I've got free reign, and I look forward. It has to be done on the right occasion. I don't think any banal, generic goal, but when there is a golazo that merits it, I will be going full South American style. Just watch.
Patrick, I'm likewise. In fact, I've been told at times I've got to try and keep it down, but today I don't have to. Now I really can let myself go as well, and jumping up with joy, arms flailing, as if we were supporters out there, because we are supporters of football, we are football fans as well, and this is a new form of football which is taking the world and taking over really by storm here, and Argentina are taking over here, and as they look for a third goal.
And they're not far off getting a third goal, if you ask me. Japan are chasing shadows, Argentina shifting it. They have that 2-goal cushion. And what it might require for Japan is for them to maybe break some of the momentum here. Is it time at some stage for that president penalty? I think they can play that in the first half, can't they? It might be a chance just to get them on the board. You eat into that deficit.
There's going to be no time left, Patrick, in the 18 minutes, so hence the reason should have just got a shot away and just tried your luck. Now, for those who are new to the sport, as we see a quick recap of the first half, the opening goal coming in, and then the second was a storm. Hopefully we'll see that shortly. Now it's going to be the roll of the dice. Patrick, the Red Bull dice, this energy break, energized by Red Bull. And it is ZW Jackson of Italy with the roll of the dice. What have we got here? Oh, this is a very interesting one, Patrick. It is a Red Bull, so it means it's going to be a 1v1, but with keepers.
1v1 with keepers. The Red Bull dice has spoken, and we saw that dice fly. Lest we forget, Red Bull gives you wings.
And hopefully for Japan, it will give them goals because they are trailing here. Thank you very much.
I would say you're here all week, but you've been here all week already.
Exactly. Sadly for you, I'm also here
He's
next
been
week
sleeping here at Vismara, Thomas Lawrence, believe it or not. Those are the rumours, but they are to be scotched or not. Here we go then, 1v1 plus keepers. God, it's like Formula One, isn't it? We're not far from Monza. Go, 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 go!
Infringement, unfortunately, on the Japanese side.
Infringement from me as well, saying go. They probably heard me and decided to go. So I apologise to the Japanese player if I did trigger that false start.
Patrick. We know it in Spanish, lo siento, if I'm not mistaken, but perdón or disculpe.
Lots of different options.
Lots of different options. Lots of different options. Not always the same.
Like Italian as well.
Yeah. So with this, we can see here the one-on-one situation where he goes around the outside and really goes for it.
Well, it looked like he wanted to get it on his left side there, didn't he, Facu Romero? In the end, he had to go on his weaker foot, and it showed whilst he hit the target straight at the goalkeeper. Now an opportunity, though, for Japan with Enken, who's taken a tumble.
And that was foolish. That was foolish because, you know, if you commit a foul...
Shootout, yes.
In that first minute,
no
you give away a shootout when it comes to one-on situation. So that's the difficult thing about these one-on-ones. You've got to be really attentive, disciplinary matters, and that now gives Japan a chance, a lifeline back into the game.
Absolutely a foothold here, provided Enken can go forward and score here. Real name, Kensuke Enjo, and Enken knows that the pressure is on here. The 5 seconds begin. He's got to be quick. He dashes. He scores. Shoots straight at the keeper. In the end, it's fine work from your boy, Luis Sanchez.
Luis Sanchez, again, for those who've been thinking, why didn't he go on the rebound? You can't go on the rebound. You have one go at it, one shot at it. Patrick, as Argentina, can they get one shot away and another goal?
They might be able to here, but he was so tricky that he tumbled himself.
Yeah.
And it was the player we saw right at the start, wasn't it? Rafael Joao, who's clearly the 1v1 specialist, but now Enken looking to expose his seeming lack of pace. He's managed it. Enken is through here, and it's another save. This time he could take the rebound, but Luis Sanchez just cannot be beaten.
As you see, also just another one for those. In this situation, the keepers cannot come out of it, hence the reason why they're staying in their penalty area.
And how do you train for this, Thomas? This is 120 seconds of just end-to-end action. You need good stamina as much as anything else.
Yeah, it's all... just thought he might give away a penalty there. He stayed on his feet.
Rafael Joao nearly losing out. Enken, again, he's so good defensively. We have seen, though, his limitations at the other end of the pitch with that shootout, and then afterwards when he was actually 1v1.
Yeah, no, it is a jerky situation. Argentina go for it again. I thought I was going to be shouting goal, 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 but unfortunately not. I'm going to say save, 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 save. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't, but fine work again. Once more from Keisuke Fukaya, because he was at full stretch there to keep it out. And a reminder, we are getting close to the end of proceedings. Rafael Joao strikes it over. We're into a minute of added time, aren't we? So we've got just over 20 seconds remaining. Perhaps one last attack here for the Japanese. How they would love to halve the deficit before we go in for half-time. Big moment here. Can he open up the shooting angle and get the shot away? He can, but it's another save from Luis Sanchez. And are we looking at a potential MVP of the tournament?
Oh, Patrick, you are not wrong there. Luis Sanchez has been fantastic. Left his mark against Spain when it came to the goals. He is doing his primary job, though, which is keeping goals out. He has helped Argentina preserve their 2-goal cushion, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, and who did he keep out there? Not just anyone. This is not just someone that they brought in off the street here in Wismar. No, far from it. That is the great Shunsuke Nakamura, a former professional, and it showed there for his technical ability, but we'll allow you now to listen in to these half-time team talks.
Salimos con Chelo, sí, Manto Augusto, Cese, Franco, Facu, sí, Facu Gamarra, y Sambu. ¿Vale? Sí, vale. Estamos bien, en defensa estamos bien. Cuando estamos ordenaditos y vemos la posibilidad de los 3 de arriba de ir a presionar, vamos todos juntos, organizamos desde atrás, le metemos ahí y vamos, encima para robar. ¿Está claro? Vale. Mientras estamos ordenados, estamos bien. De momento estamos...
Explícanos por si vienen altos.
Sí, si nos vienen a presionar alto, ya sabemos, tenemos que saltar la línea, estamos los 3, ¿sí? Acá, alto, y jugamos el cajón y en campo contrario. ¿Está claro? En ataque, importante sobre todo. Movilidad, ¿sí? Cuando estamos acumulando, sacarla rápido y a partir de ahí tomar decisiones.
はめていくではめ方やねんけど、相手が自分たちがこういった時にここでさらされた時にもうこいつ行ってもっていいよ。この前の選手が行ってもっていいで、この裏のスペース狙ってるから、このライン下げてもいいから、今めっちゃ綺麗にこのライン取ってるから、一回下げてもいいから、下げたら後ろも反応する。こっちが下げたら3番外す。オッケー。行こう。
Here we are then. The countdown is on. 10 seconds until the start of the second half. Argentina well in the clear here with that 2-goal cushion. They have required their goalkeeper though as well, and they've now decided to change keeper for the second half. Thomas, we saw Luis Sanchez in the first. It's now time for Marcelo Barovero. Can he live up to what we've expected already now with these Argentine keepers?
Yeah, offer something different to Luis Sanchez. We saw Luis Sanchez play more as a rush goalkeeper, getting out of his penalty box, trying to join in and building up from the back. Here we've got more a traditional keeper, a bit taller as well. So we'll see whether that changes Argentina's approach, but that's route 1 from them.
It is indeed, and an opportunity there. They could have made it 3-0 very early on. Facu Romero hitting it just wide in the end. But Japan have just been peppered throughout this match. They have required their goalkeeper to make several saves, Keisuke Fukaya. That's why we picked him out pre-match as well, because he is going to be a busy man. We thought as much, and for once we got it right. You know, our predictions aren't always spot on, yours especially have been pretty wide of the mark.
I've been really disappointed when it comes to the
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go for it.
So here is the first game, Argentina-Japan.
Yeah.
Later on, we've got the big one. I'm going to wait for your prediction on that.
Yeah, no worries.
Before that, 6 o'clock start, the Battle of the U's, United States, Uzbekistan.
Yep.
Which way do you see it going? I'm not going to ask you for a scoreline.
No, scoreline's impossible to predict, as you know, in the Kings League. But I will go with the USA. I was really impressed with their performance against Mexico, Patrick, and they've got some really stand-up players, including their keeper. The keeper's really, for me, I'm really impressed. I've been so surprised because
the star-spangled keeper, El Pollo.
I like it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And singing the stars and stripes come the end of the match or not.
And what about Mexico against Saudi Arabia?
That is a real tight one, but I'm going to say Mexico, just because of their experience in the Kings League Americas, all those players that have played there, and of course in Kings League in Spain.
Absolutely. So now we come to the big one. The big one indeed. The host nation, Italy, beaten by this Japan side that we're currently watching 3-1 on day one. Spain, where it all began, Kings League, our great leader, Gerard Piqué, absolutely. They lost 4-2 to the Argentina side that we're seeing in action at the moment as well. Which way do you see it going? Surely Italy, the host nation, can't go home, but can we see a Kings World Cup nations without Spain? That's the dilemma we have.
In some respects, it's disappointing that we're going to see two giants potentially going out. That would be a real shame, but it's part of the Kings League action, I'm afraid, Patrick. That's what happens as Japan finds it under some real pressure here.
They are indeed. And I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving the drone just flying above us as well. It's a little bit disconcerting at times. You do wonder whether the players might ping one into the drone. But it's I'm a big fan of YouTube golf, just coming to another interactive sport that you can see online. And they use drones loads. Sometimes the players actually hit it so close to the drone, you're worried that they're going to kill hundreds, if not thousands of euros worth of kit. That's lovely skill, meantime, as Argentina pursue a third goal. But we are in very capable hands here with our drone pilot. I don't know where he is, but wherever you are, buy that man a drink.
Yeah, and I mentioned now for our sponsors, Air Asia Move, your favourite travel companion across Southeast Asia. Explore flights, hotels and activities all in one app. So thank you to Air Asia Move.
There you go. You know where to go when you're planning your trip. I've got a friend who's currently in Asia at the moment, in the Philippines. She went there for the New Year. So, yeah, she's enjoying herself.
Well, why not get a flight to Japan?
Just a short hop, skip and a jump, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure geographically. Anyway, Japan, speaking of which, they are trying to get their way back into this game.
Man here you mentioned towards the end of the first half, Patrick Nakamura. So much experience, and also it's playing Italy, you know. Many forget, with Regina.
Ah, Regina,
had to get Reggio Calabria in a hat to, Patrick.
You do, that is where your in-laws hail from. We won't divulge any more information about your personal life.
No, I don't want to be talking about the swatch it out on the
Regina is the team from Reggio Calabria, which is basically where the point of the toe kisses, the point of the boot rather, kisses Sicily, if you will, albeit there's a bit of animosity between the pair. That's Regina, not to be confused with Reggiano, which is home of Reggio Emilia.
Absolutely.
Look at this, the goalkeeper.
And I was saying he's not got the feet of Luis Sanchez.
Well, he doesn't, because after that he booted it straight into touch. What's the point of doing the sombrero if you're then going to waste possession? Come on.
Yeah, come on, dude. Just boot it up. Do something special. Try and go for goal. Follow the footsteps in your fellow colleague, Luis Sanchez.
I heard you referencing René Higuita yesterday,
yes,
the Colombian goalkeeper, with a slight mispronunciation.
I apologise in advance for my woeful
Going to see the long throw here from Japan, mixing it up. Free header, though, for Argentina to clear it.
Español, Patrick.
I'll tell you what's great about René Higuita. I actually saw... I will be talking to an audience that probably don't know what I'm on about unless it's making a comeback. But Sabutio, when we were young, we used to have a bit of table football with the stick noddles. You'd flick the ball. It just shows how far we've come. You and I were playing Sabutio. That's how old we are. People are now watching the Kings League. Another look at that particular passage of play, Route 1, from the Japanese. And there was a model of Higuita doing the scorpion kick mid-pose. I saw it on Twitter. I loved it. I think I liked, if not retweeted it. So, you know, it just shows... maybe we might see a scorpion kick at some stage from Marcelo Barovero, the Argentina goalkeeper.
Of impressive performances from the keepers, scoring goals, making saves, and so we talk about top goals. We have to have a top saves list come the end of the competition as well, Patrick.
Speaking of scorpion kicks, we shouldn't forget another of our ambassadors Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's going to play a key role in the nascent Kings League Italy, which is starting up in the spring. He was also famous for scoring Lo Scorpione, as I like to say as well.
Yeah, but the president of Kings League Italy, Zlatan Ibrahimovic himself, we've heard plenty from him over the past couple of days. He's made his predictions. He's also been given advice how to take penalties because he was a penalty specialist, Patrick.
Indeed he was. Now he also has an important role in the senior management with Milan, but Argentina winning the ball high up the pitch there. And just for those who don't know, there are two different interpretations of what a scorpion kick is. René Higuita actually threw himself forward, propelled himself, and then allowed both heels to come up level almost with his backside and then flicked it with his studs, whereas Ibrahimovic and Olivier Giroud, another former Milan player as well, they would actually use the outside of their boot, flicking the ball up one leg as the ball came in laterally.
I'm loving the football jargon, Patrick. I'm loving the football jargon, the technical terms here. As you see a bit of technical skills on that far side. It's a tight space.
Do you remember
Argentina.
a game as one-sided as this? This is day 3 of the Kings League. This is your 9th match on the mic. Do you remember a game that was as one-sided? Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's been any jeopardy at all for Argentina.
No, listen, if you look at the scoreline, Turkey-Ukraine would suggest it was, but it wasn't that way. It wasn't that way because Ukraine had their opportunities. Konoplyanka had a really good opportunity and a good chance to break the deadlock at 0-0. And Ukraine saw lots of the ball. Just Turkey was just far more clinical. This, meanwhile, really has been, as you said, one-sided, which makes me think, Patrick, we're going to have a secret card or a president penalty soon.
I look forward to that. I really want to see it. It's one thing seeing it on a stream. It's another experiencing it here. The anticipation. What are they going to play? What's it going to be?
Well, we'll find out shortly. I mean, we've called it. We've called it. They've been listening in. We're going to have a president penalty.
Tommy, I mean, credit to you. You have now got a sixth sense for the Kings League. You know when the game is slipping away from a side. So president penalty, presumably the next time the ball goes out of play.
Yeah, that's the thing. Of course, you've got to wait for the ball to go out of play or a break in play. I was just wondering whether there's going to be a card there or not. The referees, as you've probably seen, Patrick, in the past couple of days, have tried to let the game flow, as we now see the Argentina president step up here.
It's the guest president, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, just waiting to see. And here he is.
Shootout?
It is again, my pronunciation will be dreadful. Is it? How would you say Marquito Navaja?
Marquito Navaja.
There you go. I told you. Linguist is Kendrick and Simon. Mr. Patrick Kendrick, Mr. Simon Hyde. I just, unfortunately, I made myself down.
Call me naive with my first experience of Kings League, but I thought Japan trailing by 2-0. When I saw the president penalty, I thought, okay, it's going to be Japan to try and get into it. No, Argentina, they want to turn the screw. They think we can score, we go 3 goals clear, and even if Japan were to score their presi pen or penalty, then they're not necessarily going to be able to find a way back into it. But we have seen a whole array of penalties. Some have been good, some have been bad, some have been bad and have still gone in.
As we saw from Peru yesterday. Lengthy run-up. He's got the boots on as well. He scores for me, Patrick.
Up he steps, Marquito Navaja, saved!
He doesn't score.
And he drops to his knees in disappointment. He knows how big that could have been. We've got the Japanese streamers alongside us who are absolutely cock-a-hoot. They are delighted with that outcome because the keeper has come good once again. And but for Keisuke Fukaya, Japan might have already been blown away. Disappointment for Marquito Navaja. Personally, I didn't think it was a bad penalty, but they do say any time a penalty is saved, it therefore, by rights, becomes a bad spot kick.
Yeah, I should not have doubted Fukaya. I should not have doubted him. He was fabulous against Italy. He has really kept his side in it on more than one occasion. Disappointment for Argentina, and Japan have a present penalty, plus their secret card as well. So now, I don't want to say momentum with them, but they've got a bit of advantage.
It will certainly give them a lift, because any time there's a penalty, the odds are stacked against the team that are on the receiving end of it. You only need to look at XG, and I know expected goals are huge in Kings League as well. But dare I say it, how Argentina could have done with Sergio El Kun Agüero. We might well see him over the course of the rest of the tournament. Maybe he's keeping that presi penalty in store for a big game. Maybe Allianz Stadium on Sunday the 12th of January. Dare I say it, Thomas, if Argentina make it that far?
Well, it would be some story, wouldn't it? As Argentina come forward here! Woo. And again.
I felt the decibels on that.
Wow.
Both in the cans and coming from right next to you. You thought that was in, didn't you? Didn't quite have the bend.
Look at that strike. Difficult angle as well. Checking in.
Needed a few more revolutions on the ball.
Just a little bit more, yeah, for geometry and maths experts out there. And again, very little the Argentina keepers had to do from in this second half.
They need to do something different, Japan. They do say the very definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. They haven't had a different outcome so far, Japan. The only twist in the tail thus far has been that penalty, which was beautifully saved by Fukaya. But
I'm talking on penalties.
It's on the cards again, eh?
This time, Japan, Junichi, who's to our right. It's going to be his moment very shortly. Just takes a glug of water and prepares himself.
Oh, that's lovely football meantime. And had he cushioned it home, that would have been some goal from Pablo Gomez, but instead he headed it just wide. And now it is the turn of the Japanese penalty taker. Who's it going to be, Thomas?
Well, we've got Junichi, who is just to our right here.
Step forward, that man. Let's
there
give him a
he
round
is,
of
and
applause.
he's got the best of luck. Good luck to you, as he just gives us a thumbs up.
I've just clapped him. I don't want the Argentines to think I'm favouring the Japanese, but in the interest of the game going down to the wire, wouldn't it be great if this Presi penalty was converted?
Yeah.
Great, I'll get a chance to, just dabble with the Spanish a bit. Well, my lady wife is mooting a move to Barcelona, believe it or not. Yeah, she loves it. Goes there very regularly.
Wow.
Yeah, Barceloneta and all that stuff.
Barcelona.
Constantly sunning herself on the beach. Yeah, good times.
Good times indeed.
Junichi.
Now, he didn't have much luck against Italy.
You know what I'd like to see him do here?
Second bite of the cherry.
Send the keeper the wrong way. Wait for the keeper to blink.
So Balotelli style.
Yeah, and then just drop the shoulder and slot it very coolly. Open up the foot or close the foot, depending on which way the keeper goes. But it is the keeper for the second half, Marcelo Barovero.
Now, for me, he misses.
He scores. Top left corner. I'm backing him all the way.
Too much pressure.
No. Come on. Converted!
What do I know?
And how? By Junichi. It wasn't top left, it was top right, and it was a peach of a penalty. Golazo, baby!
Well, what do I know, Patrick? I should never have doubted you very much, like I should not have doubted the Japan keeper earlier. And now it's the Japan penalty specialist, the president, Junichi, who gives his national team some hope indeed to getting back into this match.
And I don't think anyone was eagle-eyed to see it. Unfortunately, we're not in vision. We should be, though, because you're a very handsome man.
Thank you very much.
And I'm pretty, pretty good to look at myself as well. But here go Argentina, chasing a third. So what I was doing there, Thomas, was I was actually bowing down to Junichi, just as I used to on the terraces of the Dell and St Mary's Stadium when I used to watch my beloved Matthew Letizia himself, a penalty specialist. I think it was 48 from 49 across his career. You'll be able to tell me who saved his only penalty.
Of course.
Your neck of the woods.
Mr. Mark Crossley for Nottingham Forest.
How about that?
Yes, a big Forest man, obviously grown up in Nottingham.
European push.
Yeah, but another twist in the plot. It just keeps on coming. That's the beauty of the Kings. Shootout.
Argentina.
Oh, I love a shootout.
Which player?
And you called this. Didn't you say this was your favourite card?
One of my favourite ones.
No, you preferred a straight penalty, didn't you?
If I were a coach,
you're a traditionalist.
If I was a coach, yes, but in terms of pure spectacle, I love the shootout. It's far more entertaining, Patrick. And it's very smart from Argentina, calling it right away. As soon as Japan believe they've got a bit of momentum, now Argentina can knock a bit of wind out of their sails.
See what they did
very
there.
smart.
But you've got to be so quick. I mean, you essentially have to shoot almost from outside the box unless you're absolutely rapid with the ball, because those 5 seconds tick down very quickly.
Excellent
and we
strategy.
are ready for the countdown from 3, and away we go. And it is your man wearing 20, Pablo Gomez.
He's already netted a couple in the tournament so far. Let's see what his approach is, Patrick, whether he tries to round the keeper or shoot from distance. Here we go.
He's just going to try and slot it, but he was off balance. He staggered, and somehow this game has turned completely. Junichi is there. He believes that Japan are going to go on and win this game because he has seen a significant turn in the tide from 2-0 down and spurning opportunities to saving a penalty from the President to scoring their own one, and now the shootout has also been wasted by the profligate Pablo Gomez.
And this is why you were quite rightly just calming me down when I was suggesting the first half that Argentina were going to run away with it and dominate this match, because anything can happen, as we can see in the Kings League. And talking of anything happen, secret card now for Japan. Really excited to see what it is.
It's just non-stop, isn't it? I mean, just when you think, oh, it's going to get a bit dull, there's a lull. No. Kings League never gets dull.
Double goal.
Double goal, baby. X2.
The next 4 minutes, to be precise, the next 4 minutes, any goal scored by Japan worth double.
Wouldn't it be great to be able to play a double goal card once a month when your wages come in? You'd be like, you know what I've just earned, double it, please. I'll have a little extra on the top.
Then I would have enough money
mortgage
to become a president in the Kings League. Should
know,
that happen, but it's not going to happen.
When you become a president, much like Lieutenant Dan, I will be your first mate.
Thank you very much. I'll have you out on the pitch, bossing the team.
Run, Patrick, run.
Yes, because you are a very formidable force out on the pitch. I also have Super Simon Harding as well in the team.
Shout out to him. I know he's listening.
He will be back next week on the 6th of January. For the next 2 days, it is Tolo and Patrick Kendrick. A reminder again, 12th of January, Kings League final. Will we see Italy there or Spain, who are up next in the big one? And we've got some big surprises in store for that match, ahead of the match, so make sure you're with us.
We do indeed.
I can say no more. I can say no more.
You can say no more. I can say no more because I'm not privy to the surprise.
Okay.
So whereas you've been looped in, they know I've got a big mouth, and loose lips sink ships, I believe is the expression. So
several expressions.
Absolutely. So if they were to tell me, they know that...
It's very much like a secret card, Patrick. I've got it, I know what it is, and you don't.
No. And I have to react to how it's played. Unfortunately, my reaction will be spontaneous. Oh, why didn't he shoot? Why didn't he shoot? What a mistake that could prove to be from Shohei Agata. Instead, he teed up his teammate, and the chance has gone begging. And that would have been worth double, Thomas. They would have taken the lead.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, and that is what makes that miss even more disappointing from Japan. But a huge shout out to Nakamura, who made that slicing through. Do you know when he was at Regina, his nickname was Baggio del Sol Levante?
Yeah, the Baggio of the rising sun. I mean, it's quite a predictable nickname, isn't it? Never accused the Italians of being original, but that's exactly what it says on the tin.
Compared to Baggio, though, the great Divin Codino, that is impressive. Yeah. That is high praise indeed.
Is that the surprise? Is Baggio coming out later? I think I've got it. Yeah.
Well, someone similar, maybe.
Oh!
Maybe, but I can say no more. Otherwise, I could lose my job.
Could be a number 10. Could be a number 10. I think.
Could be a number 10. Or it could be at the other end of the pitch.
Oh yeah. Could be from someone from the Veneto region as well. Yeah.
Might well be.
Native of Caldogno. Oh, the challenge is flying in. Nakamura. Someone surely deserves a yellow card there. And indeed, that's exactly the point they're making, quite eloquently, if you ask me as well. It's Ezekiel Cohen saying that should be a yellow card. And a reminder, yellow card, what does that mean? 2 minutes sin bin.
Sin bin, very much like rugby or in ice hockey, they're off for 2 minutes. And Japan haven't always been at their best in terms of the discipline. They had a red card against Italy, but then it didn't prove costly because it came at the very end of the match, so it had no bearing on the result. So they have to be careful, they have to be attentive. Also because they still got a minute or so to make that goal be worth double, so they can't go a man down.
Absolutely. We have 2 minute suspensions in handball as well, which I'm a fan of. A shout out to Barcelona, who are the reigning European champions and have been dominating that sport for many years now as well. 2 minute suspensions you get there. If you get 3 of them as a player, you can take no further part in the game, much like if you get a red card here. 5 minutes you're a man light and that player can no longer play. Just a quick recap of the rules. I do it as much as anything, Thomas, for myself as well as the viewer, but I'm sure there are some viewers who are relatively new to this, just as I am myself.
But on that note, any questions, right through, we are here and happy to help.
Especially if you want advice on where to go out in the evenings in Milan. Thomas is an habitué of the Movida.
Once upon a time.
The difference between a Negroni and a Negroni sbagliato. A bit like the difference between a penalty and a shootout here.
Absolutely. In that sense, I'm here to help. Very happy to help indeed as your resident Kings League rules, regulations expert.
Have you hung up your beer jacket then? Your drinking days are behind you?
Absolutely. Now I'm focused fully on the Kings League. I want to try and eventually play, so I have to keep fit and lean.
And you're looking trim. You're looking trim, yeah. That white shirt is doing you plenty of favours.
Thank you very much. I was trying to go for the Bruce Springsteen look, white shirt, jeans, and
you nailed it.
Yeah, maybe looking a little bit like David.
Born in Nottinghamshire. Were you?
Not born in Nottinghamshire, but grew up in Nottinghamshire, but
born
still.
north of the border, Scotland.
North at border, yeah.
That's why he makes an attempt to wear a kilt every now and then.
Every now and again.
They've not made the most of that secret card, and they had that huge chance. Couple of minutes, goals would have counted double, and that's presumably only for the team that plays the card, not for both sides.
Exactly, exactly. That's
and we saw that extra attacking intent from Japan, and they very nearly played their game plan to perfection, because we're running out of time. 90 seconds until the final 2 minutes, and a reminder to viewers what happens in those last 120 seconds.
Now, should it finish this way with one team ahead, then both the goals would be worth double for the final 2 minutes. Should it end in a draw, 38-minute mark, straight to a golden goal. I haven't seen golden goal in many years, was it? Euro 2000?
No, I remember Laurent Blanc scoring one for France against Paraguay.
Right, yeah.
And I remember a European Championship being decided on one as well. Sylvain Wiltord, was it?
Oh, it might have been Wiltord, actually. Trezeguet definitely scored, but I think Wiltord might have got that decisive goal. You're right. After Del Vecchio for Italy.
Yeah, former Roma player. Shout out to any Roma fans watching.
Oh, I know plenty. Actually. Even Roma fans who actually aren't from Roma, international Roma fans.
Okay, maybe from the Emerald Isle thereof. Yeah. So, as the clock ticks down, 30-odd seconds left of the first 38
the gong, there's no added time. So, again, try and get a shot away. That's my strategy, that's my tip.
Gets the shot away.
Yeah. And because you can take a deflection, can go anywhere. Why not? Just give it a go, and then you go into that final 2 minutes.
I'd like to see the keeper have a go, because I think he's been Japan's standout player. Yeah, you can talk all you want about, Nakamura and all that sort of stuff, but for me, it's been this man on the ball, Keisuke, the other Keisuke, Fukaya. Not to
Countdown begins,
with,
Patrick.
Shunsuke Nakamura. Hit it, son, hit it quick. Oh, why didn't he shoot, Thomas? The chance was there.
Yeah.
But this is becoming an epidemic in the modern game, be it in Kings League or an 11-a-side game. When you've got a chance to shoot, put your boot through it. Why are you dropping the shoulder?
No, Simon and I were saying the same thing. Yes, you get that impression they're trying to score that perfect goal. Just one. I know this is about entertainment and spectacle, but sometimes you just need to go direct.
Well, I guess if there is a time to try and score the perfect goal, it is between two teams that have won their first match. So they know even if they lose today, they are still through to the last chance saloon, aren't they? Indeed. Whereas, however, who wins today, straight through to the quarterfinals, get that bye. And now we tick down to the culmination of this terrific match between Argentina and Japan, where goals will count for double. If Argentina were to score one, it's pretty much game over. If Japan were to find the net, they would go 3-2 up, and if they could shut out the Argentines, then they would go on to win this game. Are you ready, Tolo?
Go, 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 go!
Game on! Luke Littler, shout out to him in the final of the World Darts final again. 17 years of age, precocious.
Oh, they just keep getting younger and younger, don't they?
Littler by name, big by nature, big man.
Bursting onto the scene.
Just keep it light.
Also now back, just a reminder for our fans all across the world, they can vote for the MVP via Twitch. All you need to do is just write the name of who you think should be the MVP. I'm surprised we don't see the Japan keeper there, personally, but...
Well, he might yet emerge, you never know.
Yeah, true. Anything can change.
Comes down to our Twitch viewers. Now, if you're Argentina, what do you do here? Do you go gung-ho, knowing that a goal pretty much kills off the contest, puts you into a 4-1 lead, or are you more cautious and thinking, let's wait and see what happens. If they score, we'll back ourselves to go up the other end and score to win the game? But the onus is very much on the team in possession, Japan, because, yes, it's 2 minutes. One of those has already gone by. We've been waffling on as usual.
That's also my fault as well. You know, Mr. Chatterbox here as Japan.
Not to be confused with Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad, no, exactly, certainly not. Mr. Toad.
Similar outfit to Mr. Toad, actually,
Mr. Toad. So, you're right, I think Japan, they're the ones that have to really go for it. They have to start taking risks. Now, even leaving gaps, and talking of risks, it's risky for Spain against Italy shortly, because the loser goes out of the competition.
They do. And I really like that segue that you had there. I was actually going with Toad to leapfrog, because that's what Japan would do here if they were to score. They trailed by 2-1. If they were to score, they would leapfrog over Argentina, but there's only 30 seconds remaining, and as you can see, bottom right of our picture, coming next, España against Italia. And Thomas, I know that your heart will be with Italy.
Of course.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and cheer on Spain.
Well, I was actually going to say, you asked me earlier who I thought was going to be favourite, and I'm going to say Italy. I'm going to say that for me, Italy win it, home advantage. They've learned from their first game. And
there will be some added time, which is why Japan are taking their time in midfield.
Yeah.
Bit of a tussle off the ball there.
Exactly, and he's really hurt there.
Ezekiel Cohen, he's also quite chippy. You've seen that. So Japan knew that actually, whilst it is 2 minutes on paper, they've still got another 2 minutes. They've doubled their time because they've got added time now.
Yeah.
And this goal still count for double. Nice build-up play here. But again, Argentina doing enough defence, and there's going to be a huge roar from those Albiceleste supporters if and when they can close this game out. But they are very much in the box seat.
Oh, very much in the driving seat with the first minute of added time almost up, and hence the reason Japan were taking it quite slowly there. They obviously clearly realised there was going to be added time, otherwise it just made no sense at all.
I just looked up, Facu Navas Sanchez, who we saw score that golazo earlier, wearing I looked up and very briefly I thought, is that Javier Mascherano? It looks exactly like him. Similar build, similar hairstyle, back in the day, roaming that midfield. Oh, big call there, big call. Had the whistle not gone, Japan were in the clear.
Yeah, huge call, another
Speaking of which, Facu is leading the way, 48% in terms of MVP. Why? Because he scored that golazo, lest we forget, away to our right in the first half, pinging it into the top corner. It was a real Bosch moment, and Argentina have bossed this game.
They have bossed it. For me, they still deserve it. They still deserve it.
That's a free kick now, a platform that was clearly bumped into the back of him. Bit naive because it will allow Japan to either toss it into the mixer, then again they don't necessarily have a big man from which to latch onto or to try and get that aerial threat.
Unlike
or
Italy,
do you give it to Nakamura and say score? No, they've taken it short. And they're running out of time.
Doesn't surprise me. Unlike Italy, do have a big target man in the form of Trombetta.
25 seconds, Nakamura, his touch was heavy, his boot was high, and I think we can safely say Argentina are going to march on to the quarterfinals of Kings World Cup Nations, the road to Torino.
They are the first team to progress, Patrick, then to the quarterfinals, to the final 8 of the competition, because it's over now. We can see from the clock, all eyes on the referee. Thumbs up as well. He's just saying to the Argentinian players, that is that.
Wait for Marcelo Barovero to clear, and Argentina get the job done. It was harder than it needed to be, but in the end, their greater class has told in the end. Japan made a fight of it in the second period, but in the end, despite Japan saving a penalty from the president, despite them scoring their own for their penalty from 12 yards, in the end it's Argentina who march on, and in particular, they have one man to thank, Facu Navas Sanchez.
Stunning performance, and there he is, clearly your and our MVP for that match. Japan beaten, the right result in terms of what we see. Argentina richly deserving that win. They are the first team in this inaugural, this historic Kings World Cup Nations to march on. In the meantime, Spain already out on the pitch. They're beginning their warm-up, as are Italy. A reminder, we have some big and special announcements and surprises ahead of Spain-Italy, Patrick.
There are indeed. I'm going to leave you to go through all of those various surprises, because I heard all this talk about pequeño sorpresita earlier on, which I really enjoyed, because, it's nice to pick up the odd expression, but there is the team of the tournament so far, by virtue of the fact that 2 wins from 2. Correct. On day 1, they beat Spain by 4 goals to 2. We're about to see La Roja very shortly, and here they won by 2 goals to 1, and the stats bear out their dominance.
Absolutely. Although Japan had their moments, they had their opportunities, they just didn't make them count. So they will be going out of this match with a few regrets, but they know they have another opportunity in the last chance saloon. So that was Argentina getting the better of Japan. They have an extra day's rest, Argentina, ahead of their game in the quarterfinals.
And Thomas, I don't know about you, but it's like a trip down memory lane here. We're watching the warm-up. An Italy side features Emiliano Viviano, long-time Sampdoria goalkeeper, Ciccio Caputo, formerly of Sampdoria himself, but also Sassuolo. And we've got Leonardo Bonucci, once of Inter very briefly, once of Milan, also a very short spell, but he's most synonymous with Juventus.
Absolutely, with Juventus, and we're going to see him in action shortly. But first, let's recap the action of Argentina's win against Japan.